So keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode 15, I think, right? I think it's episode
Correct, yeah,
15, yeah. So
It's
I think
15.
I have the wrong episode number in the title, so let me just amend that. Amendment complete. So welcome, everyone. Saturday is normally our YOLO episodes, but we got a patch last night, so we're going to be going over that instead. First of all, a couple announcements. My internet has been historically quite fucking garbage, so if you've been wanting to watch my streams and shit, I'm sorry about last night. I just couldn't do it with my internet. I made a bunch of changes, including port forwarding, and setting exceptions for OBS in my firewall, and that seems to have fixed it, but I'm not sure. And then I also set a dynamic, bit rate. So hopefully those things are helping or are working. So I apologize for those. If you guys know how I can make my internet better, please let me know. I have Spectrum, which is the only internet provider I can possibly have at my location. I have the 250 down, 10 up plan. Normally it works well, but it hasn't been for the past 2 weeks. So we rent a modem and router. And if you guys think if I got a new modem, would that help my inconsistent upload? Would a new router help with my inconsistent upload? I would be interested in getting your guys' input on that if you know anything about internet. So please let me know if you have any ideas on how to fix that shit. Or even if you don't know about a modem or router, like, is there anything I can do besides like switching ISPs, which I can't. So please give me that information. Damascus extended his sub through March, dude. That's a whole fucking year. Wow. What an absolute demon. Thank you, Damascus. I appreciate you, man.
Let's fucking go.
So much faith, commitment. Awesome. Thank you, sir. I'm honored. I'm humbled. And I'm honored and privileged to have you in this small, humble community for another year. And hopefully more years to come. So keep that in mind.
Next March we'll be at 1 million subs too. So
yeah,
that's good.
true. Yeah, Damascus
He's the first one here.
Damascus will be in on the ground floor. So yeah, let me just VIP this boy real quick. All right, cool. Okay, so what else was I gonna do? We're still looking for a logo. Another announcement. I messaged my guy who does thumbnails, and I think I'm just gonna go with him for the logo. But if you guys have been looking and almost know of someone, let me know. I can kind of compare and contrast. The buttons stuck. I don't know what that means, Damascus. What's up, Qualkais? Welcome to the Dropshot, episode 15. So, another little announcement. Thank you guys very much. We've been getting a ton of support. A fucking ton of people have been joining the Discord, which has been absolutely awesome. All the chat channels have been way more active than I anticipated, which is great. That's good for me, and it's also good for you guys. Even if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I can tell you now it is way more active than it was even last week. So looking for squad is up. General chat, bullshitting around, everything. If you like this podcast, you'll like the Discord. Let's put it that way, because it's very much molded in this podcast's image. kind of like human beings are molded in the image of Yahweh or Elohim. Read a book. Religious studies was my minor in college. Almost as useless as philosophy. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you guys. It's been great. And I love the support. I really appreciate it. All the positive tweets, DMs. I'm super grateful for all of that stuff. It means more than you guys probably think. And lastly, like I was saying earlier, Saturdays are normally our like YOLO free flow episodes. I know last episode we said we were probably going to do nuke tips today. But after last episode on Thursday, the patch released like an hour after we turned off the podcast. So instead of doing the nuke tips today, we are going to go over these patch notes. And then on Wednesday, I think we're going to do the same thing, more patch note stuff, if anything else has been released. And then we'll get back to our normal Saturdays or YOLO, Wednesdays or patch notes schedule. So, any announcements, young Tanner?
I have 0 announcements.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right, so let's fucking get into it. Recent patches. New update for MDub and Warzone live now, March 27th. So today is Saturday the 28th. This was last evening. This is courtesy of Charlie Intel. I strongly recommend you guys bookmark this page if you're into Call of Duty. Charlie Intel and Exclusive Ace are the two resources I use the most. Charlie Intel is really good for news that isn't directly related to patch notes. It's also really good for patch notes themselves. And then Exclusive Ace is really good for patch changes that happened that were not in the notes. Exclusive Ace finds all that shit really quick. Partly because he investigates it himself, and partly because since he's known for being that guy, the community will tweet him and say, hey, I think this change happened that wasn't in the notes. True, yes, no, and then he'll like make a video about it. So here we are in Charlie Intel. New patch. Let's see what is new. So the new operator Talon, we briefly went over this last time. We've got the Khandor Hideout 24/7 playlist, which is the new map. It's a small map. It is a map that we will talk about and review because Tanner and I have played it quite a bit. Let's see here. We've also got night vision goggles infected multiplayer. And then, oh shit, Tanner, I didn't even notice this. So night vision goggles infected multiplayer mode. I'm not saying any more about that. But plunder blood money. Guaranteed cash drops on all kills. Bounty contracts and finishing moves pay extra cash. So I thought this was just going to be a general change to the plunder mode, but it turns out this is a different playlist for plunder.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know this, Tanner?
I did, yeah. I guess I probably didn't make that clear when I told you, but yeah, it'll probably just be in for the week or so.
Okay. Not great, but I mean, I think all those changes could be permanent. That would make plunder more fun, but still, it's a new thing.
It kind of doesn't make sense to me, though. I feel like we always get cash when we kill people. Like it'll be, only 10,000 sometimes, but there's very few times we get cash, unless they're just saying it'll be a lot more.
Yeah, that is weird, right?
Yeah,
that is weird. Damascus with the gifted sub. Damascus going off today, dude. Qualkites, congratulations. You are now a part of this small, humble community. Now you have Twitch Prime and you didn't do it yourself, and I've known you for 5 years, so that's a yikes. But luckily, Damascus Impaler is generous enough to hook you up. So, and if you're listening and you don't know me or Qualkites, I'm just fucking around. I don't think that. I wouldn't have made that joke to someone I don't know very well. And Qualkites I know very well. He subbed to Tyler 1. Yeah, Tyler 1 really needs your Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
Not this small, humble streamer who's trying to get his feet off the ground. Pepe hands. All right, anyway. Tanner, if you have my stream open, by the way, tell me if my stream starts being garbage, okay?
You lagged like 2 or 3 times for a couple seconds.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing my frame or my upload drop, so that's fucking great. But anyway. Are you still going to be able to hear me?
Like, I hear you perfectly fine.
No, I mean through the stream. Do you know? You wouldn't be able to know, I guess. You're not listening.
Yeah, no.
All right, doesn't matter. Okay, so a couple general fixes. When using tack insert in the crawl space near the oil derrick on Rust, the player will spawn elsewhere on the map instead of where the tack insert was placed. This has been fixed. Okay.
That's okay for sure.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't play Rust. Everything's going to be bad on Rust. When using keyboard and mouse, the arrows used to change which season you're viewing go in the wrong direction. This has been fixed. Fixed a bug where the kill cam showed the player they were killed by thermite rather than underbarrel thermite. Imagine writing this patch note, but not writing a patch note for, hey, we added 4 new attachments to the game, which is what happened this patch. So instead of saying, hey, we added Dragon's Breath rounds in the patch notes, which they did add and did not put in the notes, they're instead going to add this note. Quote, fixed a bug where the kill cam showed the player they were killed by thermite rather than underbarrel thermite. No one gives a fuck. But they add this note instead of the, hey, there's new attachments on guns. So fucking dumb.
That's actually fucking that's complete and total incompetence, honestly.
It's mind-boggling, excuse me.
Crazy, dude.
So absurd. So anyway, Xbox players were experiencing in-game stuttering after the console has been reset and has been in rest mode, and the instant on setting is enabled. This has been fixed. Don't care. Fix for a bug where players could see daily challenges, rewarding duplicate rewards instead of XP. Okay. We now show weapon. This is kind of cool. We now show weapon and equipment counts in the kill cam. I'm actually not sure how I feel about this, but let me get your thoughts, Tanner. If a player was using stopping power, then the ammo count will be orange to denote this. We also show whether a player was using dead silence in the kill cam as well. What do you think about this, Tanner?
I think it's great. I mean, why would you be against it?
Well, like if you have, if you're playing Hardpoint and it shows that you have a trophy system, it might be too much information to be giving to enemy teams. You know? Like I would, honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about kill cams, but if we're going to have kill cams, I don't even want to see a HUD. I don't even think there should be kill cams, to be totally honest with you.
It's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. I'm fine with it.
Kind of. But anyway, so a lot of people liked this change, so we're not going to debate that. So
yeah.
Weapons increase the max travel time for the crossbow bolts from 3 to 6 seconds. So this means that if your crossbow bolt requires 6 seconds of travel time to land, then instead of just despawning, it will travel for those whole 6 seconds. And if you're shooting a crossbow that needs to travel 6 seconds to get a kill and you actually land that shot, you deserve to land that shot. So that's cool that it does that. So they made that change. But if you're trying to do well with crossbow bolts, I have some news for you. Uninstall the game because you're an idiot. Bolt action rechamber will no longer be re-triggered if interrupted after the round has been ejected. So if you're like sniping, you shoot the gun and then you switch weapons right away, you will not have to rechamber twice. Like once you rechamber, you're done, even if you switch weapons or whatever. So that's good. Let's see. Perks amped, increased amped reload speeds for 3 of the launchers. So now all the launchers get increased reload speed with amped. Because before this, only the Pila and the RPG had their reload speeds increased by amped, and amped was supposed to have increased reload speed for all launchers. The game's been out for 5 months, by the way. So yesterday, they finally decided to fix that perk that has been broken for 5 months since release, by the way. So that's good. And we've confirmed that this does work. This is not fake news. EOD, damage resistance fixes and tunings. This doesn't matter. Nothing is really important here. Okay, this is interesting. Field Upgrade Pro stopped cases where field upgrade placements would cause equipment to be used. Now, how many times have they told us that they fixed Field Upgrade Pro, Tanner?
Too many times to count.
Too many times to count. So Field Upgrade Pro is where you select 2 field upgrades, and then when you press your field upgrade keybind, it will ask you which of the 2 field upgrades you have selected you want to use at this time, at this juncture. And every time since release, the game's been out for 5 months, by the way, you would press one of those 2 options, and then you would throw a thermite instead of deploying your munitions box, and your field upgrade would go away as if you had used it when you actually didn't. So here they're telling us for probably the 4th time that they've fixed this. I doubt it. Hey, I doubt it. But they're telling us once again that they fixed it. So that I almost don't even want to try testing it, because I've been baited into doing this so many times before that I almost want to just give up on ever using Field Upgrade Pro.
So they're basically saying how we always had the issue with we would throw like a stun or a grenade or something. They're saying that's what's been fixed, and now it won't ever do that again, apparently.
That is apparently what they're saying, yes.
Because if that's fixed, I may actually run Field Upgrade Pro then.
Hey, Tanner, I would be running Field Upgrade Pro since the beginning if it was fixed, but I've stopped trying because they've told us this. I'm not, okay, not to exaggerate, I think literally it's been 3 times they've said this now. This is either the 3rd or 4th time that they've said, okay, we fixed Field Upgrade Pro. So now instead of throwing a thermite at your own foot and killing you off of a nuke, it's actually going to do what we're telling it to do. So it's going to throw the munitions box or the tac deploy. I doubt it. Let's put it that way. So
yeah.
This is kind of cool. Tac insert added a broke tac insert icon that is shown when your tac insert is destroyed. That's a good change if it's true. Don't care. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Stopping power. We've doubled the amount of stopping power ammo given to akimbo weapons. So stopping power has always been a maximum of 30 rounds. So if you're using a PKM with 100 rounds, and then you get stopping power and equip it, it doesn't give you 100 stopping power rounds. It gives you 30. So you'll reload the pick'em. You'll have the first 30 bullets will have stopping power, and then the last 70 will not. However, for akimbo weapons, they've doubled it. So if you have 2 M19s with 32 round mags, I think what that means is you're going to have 30 rounds of stopping power in each pistol, which is pretty fucking gross, because even without stopping power, that's my favorite secondary, is the akimbo M19 with 32 rounds. Because the fire rate is so high, you kill people fucking quick. Especially because when you're only hip firing that quickly, you're very likely to get some headshots in there. Like, I get way more headshot kills than you would think. So you fire 8 bullets in a 1/8 of a second. 3 of them were probably headshots. So you kill kids way faster than you'd think. Give that a try. I think it's the M19. You wouldn't know, Tanner, would you? Which pistol has the 32 rounds? Yeah.
I only use a deagle, so yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's another change. PC. Now, I want you guys to listen real carefully. I want to read something for you. PC, quote, Stun grenades are now less intense, end quote. What are the odds that that's true, Tanner?
There's an exactly 0% chance that's true because it's not.
Absolutely fake fucking news. After this patch, I've played the game many times. Stun grenades are still death. Just hot death. They're not fixed. They feel no different whatsoever. One of the many advantages of having a controller, it still includes that stun grenades are totally fine if you're on controller, but you can't move for 10 seconds on PC. They're not less intense. This patch note is fake news, probably just like the Field Upgrade Pro was also fake news. So if you're on PC and you got excited listening to me read that, reel it the fuck in, boy. Reel it in. And then another PC fix, supposedly, several fixes to prevent crashes and improve stability. We will fucking see about that. Although, to be fair, I was not crashing or having instability in general at all on PC.
I haven't crashed in multiplayer in a while.
Yeah.
And Warzone, I don't think I've crashed once in Warzone. So they've finally nailed out most of the bugs, I believe, 6 months into launch. So that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's good. Special operations, a lot to talk about here if you're listening to another podcast, because we're not reading any of these fucking Spec Ops notes. If you want to hear Spec Ops notes read on a podcast, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Fuck you. So not reading Spec Ops. Moving on. Ground War. Fix for a bug that resulted in a player falling through the map upon spawning on a tank as it became full. K. That's what you get for spawning on tanks. I wish you would all instantly die, so keep that in mind. Warzone, new weapons can be found on the ground and in boxes. The 725, the Mark II, the EBR, and the Deagle. I think we talked about that last episode. Don't care, doesn't matter. You can just buy a loadout for $5 and then you're good. Players who DC in Last End will now drop their items when leaving the game. That's a good change. That's a good change. So before it was like, if I'm shooting you and I down you in Warzone and then you get pissed off and then turn off your Xbox because you're 14 and dinner's ready and your mom shouts, "Meatloaf's ready," from downstairs, you wouldn't drop your items. You wouldn't drop your items. But now, if I down you and then you leave the game, then you drop your shit. And the kill, I think, would count. The kill might not count, actually, because they didn't say that it did. But they dropped their items, which is good. Which is a good change. Because a lot of people were annoyed that it didn't. Fix for a bug where the animation for the player equipping a gas mask will interrupt and block players from destroying their parachute. Okay. That's interesting. Ooh, Dylan! ASAP Nope, dude. Young Dylan. With that 10-month sub, Razano K. It's a good emote. It's a good emote. I'll admit it.
Razano Goods in the chat there.
Razano Goods in the chat. Thank you, Dylan. I'm honored. I'm privileged. I'm humbled. I hope you're doing well during these viral times. How are you, by the way, Dylan? Are you guys working? I can't imagine you are. But at least we're getting that Trump socialism money. So that'll be good. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, boys. Okay, cool. All right. So, what's up, Torchic? How's it going, dude? Dylan, thank you again, man. I appreciate the sub, dude. Great to have you here, sir. Going well? Good, dude. So, okay, so Tanner, I remember we were playing Warzone and you died because you were trying to shoot someone and then you had to equip your gas mask. Do you think there should be an animation for equipping the gas mask once the gas comes to you?
No, and I've been wondering about what they should do with this. And I get they're trying to go for like a more realism standpoint, like they want to see putting the gas mask on. In my opinion, if you buy a gas mask, it should always be equipped, and you just won't have that visual cutoff, and it should just always be on. So if you're in the gas, you get 10 seconds of coverage or whatever it is, and that's it. I don't think they should ever show you putting it on. It's fucking ridiculous that made it through playtest in game, and they still put that through. So I just think it should always be equipped, basically, and that animation should be thrown out the fucking window.
I would say that I think when you buy a gas mask, there should be an animation of you equipping it, but once it's equipped, there's none of that visual peripheral change. So you don't see goggles, you don't see the mask. But when you buy the gas mask and equip it, you like put it, it's like your character can't use his left hand while he puts it on, but nothing as far as your HUD is concerned changes. And so basically you put your mask on and then you have it on indefinitely. I agree with you there. I do think though that once it breaks, I think there should be an animation where your guy takes it off. I think that's fine. That
makes more sense than anything I've heard. Yeah, that would be perfect.
It would be better than the current system for sure.
Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah, nobody likes the current system. In game, it gets so many people killed and loses them the game. So,
and another thing is like, if you think about this from a realism perspective, I know that's kind of silly, but let's say so this is what happened to Tanner. We're playing Warzone. He's shooting at some dude who is closer to the center of the ring than he is, and the gas is quickly encroaching on both of them. They're literally mid gunfight, and Tanner is shooting his gun. And then as soon as the gas hits him, his character stops shooting and puts the gas mask on, and then he dies. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was in this situation in real life, I would not stop shooting while I'm being shot at to put on a gas mask. You know what I would do? Hold my breath for a second. You know? Like, hey, what would I rather do? Hold my breath or be shot by an automatic assault rifle at point blank range? I think I'm going to go with hold my breath, Chief. That's what I think I'm going to go with. So the animation where you put it on, especially during mid gunfight, is fucking ridiculous. And it literally cost us the game. So keep that in mind. Dylan, we're mobbing out. The hotel is ours. Dude, that's cool. How many of you were in the hotel, Dylan? That's fucking dope, dude. That's actually super cool. It's kind of like there was a situation I was going to reference. I can't think of it, though. Damascus Impaler says, if they're going to show an animation, maybe just show them changing out a filter. Yeah, that would be good too. That would be good too. Just something like that. But like, it's, as it stands now, too much going on. You can't put on a gas mask right when the gas hits, especially during a gunfight. It's fucking absurd. So, all right, so let's see here. Tuned close-up shotgun damage to prevent a single shotgun blast from downing a fully armored player. I like this change. Stopping power can still make this happen. So before this, if you got shot with a 680 at point blank range, like someone's in your ass and then shoots you with a 680, even if you're fully armored, one shot down through full armor. That's too much damage. I agree with them here. If you have stopping power rounds loaded into a 680, you can still do that. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So that's good that they changed that. Added Warzone specific controller button layouts. The bumper ping and bumper ping flipped layouts will also allow those playing Warzone with a controller to use the ping feature more efficiently. That's cool. Let's see. Plunder. Players can no longer stack self-res. I didn't know they could, so that's good. Players that are spectating still get plunder payouts from contracts, but at only 40% of the value paid to living players. So if we're doing a bounty contract and I'm murdering the whole squad, and Tanner's cowering in fear behind, and he dies. Before this patch, he would get none of the money once I've killed everyone in the squad and collected the bounty, which happened all the time. So now he'll get 40% once he's downed. And then when he comes back in being carried, then he has a little more money. So that's a good change.
Fake fucking news saying I'm always dead. Eat shit.
Okay. Fixes to help prevent hitching when interacting with cash deposit, helicopters, and recon contracts. I don't recall any hitching ever when interacting with those. That was probably more of a console issue, though.
Yeah, I don't remember that whatsoever.
All right. So, and then the last little section here in the BR/Warzone. Fix for a rare bug, don't care. Made it easier to see which item is selected while using a buy station. Okay, that's good. Updated button layout for equipment while using gamepad. K. Buy a PC, be an adult. Fixed a bug for players. Fixed a bug for players are not... Okay, so they wrote this wrong. I am literate. I thought I was illiterate because I was going to say fixed a bug for players are not. But then I realized, nope, I'm correctly reading these patch notes, but Infinity Ward is incapable of doing patch notes correctly, which we've already seen evidence of, and we will see further evidence of later in the pod. Fixed a bug for players are not receiving a banner on the top right of the screen for allies or enemies initiating kill streaks. What the fuck does that mean? Now, I have to be honest with you guys. I am a native English speaker. I've been speaking English for 28 years, roughly, give or take. I have a pretty good grasp of the English language. I've been doing it for a long time. I have a bachelor's degree in philosophy. That requires some knowledge of English. And I've read some complicated sentences that were written in English, such as, the self is a relation which relates itself. The self is not the relation, but consists in the fact that the relation relates itself to its own self. That sentence makes more sense to me than the sentence, fixed a bug for players are not receiving a banner on the top right of the screen for allies or enemies initiating kill streaks. So I'll ask Tanner, again, what the fuck does that mean? Because I have no idea.
It's when somebody calls in a precision or UAV, and like, you know, in multiplayer when it shows in the top right that I'm calling in the war crimes kill streak. Okay. Apparently it does that in Battle Royale. I didn't really know that. I don't think it should even say that, in my opinion. They shouldn't even give out those notifications in BR. I'm assuming that's what it means, though. I don't fucking pay attention to those ever, except for when I call in white phosphorus and I can see the war crimes falling from the sky in multiplayer.
Okay, but this is Battle Royale specific. That's why I'm asking you. There's no white phos in the BR. So
that's what I'm saying. But when people call in precision or UAV, it should show up there. Apparently, I never paid attention. That's what I'm saying. I've never fucking paid attention.
The only time I've seen a banner for kill streaks in the BR is when it's being called on me and it'll say precision airstrike incoming. Were we supposed to have been able to see when our allies call these in? Is that the point?
I guess, yeah. That could be it for sure.
So weird. So weird. Damascus is going absolutely insane. I think Damascus already got his check from the Fed. That's the only explanation. Or he's a plutocrat, and I just don't know it. And if you don't know what a plutocrat means, by the way, like I said, I have a pretty good grasp on English. Look it up. Gifting 2 tier 1 subs to Endymion Shrike. Endymion Shrike is how I would pronounce that name. And Henry. Damascus, your generosity knows no bounds. Thank you very much, my friend, for those gifted subs. I appreciate you, dude. I got it right? Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Endymion Shrike, welcome to this small, humble community. And Henry, welcome back to this small, humble community. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Damascus, I thank you ever so much, dude. I really appreciate the support. Hell fucking yeah, brother. So anyways, I don't know what the fuck this means. So we'll see what happens. Maybe with the banners, whatever. Let's see. Running at the end of the pre-match. Oh, this is cool. So this is to the point earlier. Players will now get a kill when someone that they've downed disconnects from the game. So not only will that player drop their items when the meatloaf is ready, but they will also count as having been killed by you. So that's good. Yeah, you're helping a lot, Damascus. I appreciate it, man. I really do. So, and then let's see. Reduce the amount of cash given for averting a bounty. Interesting. How much cash was given for averting a bounty previously, Tanner? Do you know?
In BR, no. I don't know at all. 2,500 maybe?
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure if you should get paid at all for averting a bounty unless you kill the bounty hunter. Like, if you don't kill the bounty hunter, no one should get paid. If you kill the bounty hunter, you should get a percentage of the bounty that was placed on you. I think that's fine. And also, if your bounty gets poached, you also shouldn't get paid at all. You should get no money, and the person who poached your bounty should get a percentage of the original bounty contract's payout. These things all make more sense to me.
I kind of like it, to be honest. It's easy cash because the bounty almost always gets killed by somebody else.
Exactly,
if I don't kill
but
him.
it's too easy of cash. Just get a bounty contract and then just forget about it, and you'll just get paid for doing dick. I think that's dumb. I think it's dumb, so keep that in mind. And then the last most important note in these patch notes for the, what's it called? For the BR, for the Warzone. Increased price of loadout drop to 8,500. So this has gone up from 6,000 to buy the loadout drop, which allows you to pick your custom class with all your weapons and with perks. This is still the only way to get perks in the BR. It used to cost 6,000. It now costs 8,500. Tanner, thoughts?
Big fucking no. Dumb. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I mean, I think I'm getting their theory. I think they'll end up raising it more. They're probably starting off low. They don't want to just raise it to like 12,000 and piss everybody off. It still needs to go way up, though. Like I said, it needs to be like 12,000, 15,000. I still don't like where it's at. That's... Honestly, if you're playing trios, that's an extra 3 minutes of looting to come up with that extra cash between the three of you. It makes no sense. It wasn't worth their time to raise it that much. Just do it like, I don't know, 12, 15.
So in episode 11, we were talking about this, and I raised the question, do you think that they intended for this BR to be different in this way? You're encouraged to use a custom class with perks, and that's the point of the BR, and we know how easy it is to get this, and we did that on purpose. The question was that their intention? I think with this update, the answer to that question is yes. They wanted this BR to be different. They wanted this BR to be custom class focused. They wanted it to be very easy to do this. And their goal was not to have a BR where you pick up random weapons and do well. Their goal was to have a BR with many of the same BR rules, except they want you to have your custom class and your perks, and they want you to get it pretty easily. Before this patch, I wasn't sure if that was the case, but now it's obviously the case, Because if they're making a change to it after all of this pushback and they're only increasing the price to 8,500 and allowing an entire squad to upgrade from that one $8,500 purchase, it's extremely obvious to me that they want this to be different from other BRs in that way. That is fully their intention, and this is evidence of that, in my opinion.
That makes a lot of sense. I feel like they could have done it differently, though. Do you think they even needed to put in buy stations in? What if they made a BR, but you spawn in with your kit already? It wouldn't make any sense.
That is exactly what I was going to say next. Like, it is so easy to get $8,500 to buy your loadout that you might as well just let us drop in with our custom class like in Plunder and then play the game that way. This is just like a weird... It's like this kind of awkward middle ground that's not a middle ground at all. And I don't understand... Like, I don't get it. I don't get why they just... And again, this is how Plunder works. You drop in with a custom class. If they're going to make it this fucking easy to get a custom class in the BR, why not just spawn us in with it? I don't understand the rationale from their perspective. Because this is not difficult enough to be special. It's too easy. So if it's so easy, then why not just let us drop in with the custom class? Like, I don't understand.
It's seriously that one time you, me, and Ben, or you, me, and Crichton, somebody, like, we had that money within, I think, 2 minutes of landing. Like, it's crazy. Literally. It's crazy. There's no, like, if it's that quick, just spawn us in with the weapon if that's what you're going to go for. It's
so dumb. So, I don't know. I mean, this is a step in the right direction because it should be harder to get, in my opinion. But then again, it's like, I don't know if it should be harder to get. It depends on the developer's intention. If their intention is for it to be this easy, it shouldn't even be 8,500. You should just spawn in with it. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it, though. Make it really hard to get or just spawn us in with it. This middle ground is fucking dumb.
Again, I think the fun of a BR is the randomness aspect to it, and playing with random guns you find, that's part of the fun. That's the reason I used to like them, not so much in this game. And I think that's the way it should be. I don't think they should be in there at all, but if they're going to do them, 15,000.
I agree. Or alternatively, keep it at 6,000, but it's single use like a care package.
Yeah.
I think that would balance it as well. So,
yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, so that's it for the patch notes. We've also got a new playlist update. I'm going to wrangle my massive white cock out of my shorts and then piss into my toilet with it. So, Tanner, why don't you go over this new Cabin Fever playlist in MDub? I'll be right back.
Okay, there's a new Cabin Fever playlist. Came out yesterday. They hot fixed it today because a couple of the maps weren't working. So it's called Cabin Fever. The maps are Rust, Shipment, Shoot House, Hackney, and Gunrunner, which is a great lineup. Those are 5 of the favorites. I fucking hate Rust, but Hackney, Gunrunner, Shoot House are all great maps. Shipment's fun if you want to just run around and be an idiot. And it's a mosh pit as well, so you're getting Team Deathmatch, Dom, Headquarters, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint. We were playing it, or I was playing it last night. I didn't get Rust or Shipment once. We got, what was it, Shoot House like 4 times in a row, so it needed work. They patched it today, and they fixed that issue. Regardless, I think this is probably one of the better playlists they've put out lately. Whenever they did Shoot House only, then the Shipment players would complain. Then they would do Shipment only, and the Shoot House players would complain. And they do Rust, and then other people would complain. And then this, I think, solves a lot of that because everybody likes most of these maps. it's a good lineup if you're grinding for camos. Again, it's not as good as just doing shipment or something like that, but it's a good setup. I would honestly like the new map Khandor added to that. We'll get to that in a second, but that's a really good map. I think that would be fun if they added it to the mosh pit, but it has its own 24/7, so that makes sense already. But it's a really good map, and it should be on that list.
It is a really good map, and we will get into that. So my question with this, okay, so they introduced this playlist as Tanner went over, and then as Tanner also said, people were complaining that we were not getting enough shipment or rust within that playlist. So they tweeted, I will show you guys the tweet now. Infinity Ward, we're rolling out a playlist update that helps you find more shipment and rust matches in the Cabin Fever playlist. We've also added this playlist to the hardcore filter. So my question when I read this tweet is, what the fuck was the distribution before this? Let's say I have 5 maps in the Cabin Fever playlist. Let's make it so that there's a 20% chance of getting each map. And that's it. How is that hard? So, like, what did they fuck up and then have to increase the odds of these 2 maps? Because I took statistics in community college when I was 19 years old, and that education made it very clear that it is extremely unlikely that Tanner, Ben, and I play Cabin Fever playlist for 4 hours and see 0 shipment if it's a 1 in 5 chance of getting that playlist. The statistical likelihood of that happening is very, 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 very fucking low. Yet, here we were, getting it 0 times. So how hard is it? It's like Infinity Ward cannot do anything right. They just can't do anything right. It couldn't have been 20% likelihood of each map. So now they've increased the likelihood you get shipment or rust. Let's just throw rust out of the playlist and the game. But even if you want to have it in the game or the playlist, how hard is it to just have a 20% chance? It's so fucking simple. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that this is an issue at all to begin with. I interrupt this regularly scheduled, I've had a couple beers, broadcast to bring you some Twitch chat. Slushies, also known as Slush, also known as Shitter. I don't know what to call him, so I call him Slush. We've been over this last episode. Says, this dev team is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks. I couldn't agree more. It's like, but it's even worse than that, because it's not like they're throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it'll work. They are grabbing something and then throwing it at the wall, but they don't even know what they're throwing at the wall. Like, they're like, okay, it's not like they grab a thing and then throw it and say, let's see if this works. But instead, they are grabbing. They don't know what they're grabbing. See, so if you're going to throw something at the wall and see if it works, it's like, okay, let's see if adding this map to the playlist works, and then you throw it at the wall and see if it works. Great. But in this case, they're just grabbing anything. They don't know what they have in their hand, and they're saying, we're going to change something. We don't even know what we're changing. Let's see if that works. That is the depth of the fucking incompetence, absurdity, short-sightedness of the Infinity Ward dev team. It's a disaster. Damascus Impaler, 2 more subs. Jesus Christ, this guy is going fucking ham. That's a total of 11 gifted subs in this small, humble community.
Let's get pissed.
All right, so Tanner's gonna go pee. Freeze, welcome. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. I Drop Bodies, aka Cypher. Thank you as well. Or excuse me, welcome as well to the small, humble community. Damascus, eternally grateful, brother. I appreciate you so much. Kaylee, welcome. Why are you saying K boy to me? Don't use my own emotes against me, you harlot. What's up, Freeze? How's it going, dude? Welcome, and congratulations, sir. Let's move on with our notes here. Let me take a fat swig of my alcoholic beverage. By the way, it's the Ballast Point Sculpin IPA, which in my view is the best beer in the world. It's fantastic. You've got to have a little bit of a stomach for the hoppy IPAs, but if you do, Sculpin is a great choice.
It's a shit beer, but yeah.
You're a fucking idiot, and I'm about to...
I don't like IPAs, actually.
So here, emergency update announcement. The Dropshot is looking for a new co-host. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And obviously, one of the prerequisites is that he likes Sculpin IPA. So let's move on. So as I was saying with how fucking incompetent this dev team is, there were things added to the game, patch notes that should have been notated, but were not. Changes that were made that were not listed in the patch notes, of course. And these are pretty big. So they will tell you that that when you die to a thermite, they're going to make sure you know that you died to a thermite instead of an underbarrel thermite, which literally exactly 0% of users have ever used in multiplayer. They're going to be sure to keep you informed of that. But here's what they're not going to tell you about. Adding 4 new attachments to the fucking game. So, since Infinity Ward won't do it, welcome to the Dropshot. I'll do it. Okay? New attachments for the Model 680. So there are 4 new attachments, and I will go over what these mean right now. So before the patch, there were 2 attachments. There were the tube extensions. So the Model 680 is the shotgun, pump action shotgun. If you played BO4, think of the MOG 12. And there will be more similarities after this patch than before, but it is very similar. Pump action, 12 gauge, typical shotgun. Rack the slide, fuck kids up. Simple. So there was one was called the tube extension, which increased the total number of shots from, I want to say 8 to 12. Tanner, yes, no? Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure. Sounds about right.
Okay. So tube extension just increased the number of shells you could have in the tube, I guess. Slug rounds, which I think every shotgun in the game has. It changes and I've never shot a gun in real life. I'm from California. I'm a liberal coastal elite piece of shit, so I've never even seen a gun in real life. I'm not opposed to guns. I'm a very ardent believer in the Second Amendment. I believe in everyone's right to bear arms, and I would love to have some myself, but again, coastal elite, no crime where I live, so I haven't felt the impetus to get one myself, but Tanner has, so he can explain to us what the fuck is the difference between a regular ass round and a slug round. Now, here is what I think it is. What I think it is that a regular shotgun shell, you shoot it and it like explodes and then it shoots out a bunch of BBs or pellets, which is what I think the proper name for them is. And then a slug round, instead of exploding and shooting out pellets, is just like a metal beanbag. Just like some like, I don't know what kind of shape a slug round would be in, but instead of exploding and shooting out pellets, it just goes straight. And it has more force, more stopping power, more range, but it doesn't have as much spread. So Tanner has actually shot guns. He has actually exercised his Second Amendment right, like a true red-blooded American. So he can tell us what the fuck the difference is in real life.
I've never shot a slug round. I'm pretty sure you're right, though. A regular shotgun shell is going to shoot out BBs, essentially. And I think a slug just fires some sort of projectile. I'm not really sure. I don't really know much about slug rounds. They're probably not even legal in California. I actually don't know.
Here's
Maybe
another.
somebody in chat may know more, but I'm pretty sure a slug will put a damn hole in your chest, essentially.
I'm pretty sure a slingshot is illegal in California. God forbid a fucking anything that actually has gunpowder. I've also heard a distinction between birdshot and buckshot. So a buck, by the way, for you fellow ignorant American pieces of shit out there, is it's an ungulate. I think a buck is a male deer. See, I'm also an ignorant American piece of shit, so I don't really know. But have you ever heard buckshot versus birdshot, Tanner? Here's how I know this, by the way. I was watching Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special, relatively new. What was it called? Do you know?
I don't give a fuck about Dave Chappelle, so no.
Okay, well, you should. But he had a Netflix special. One of his bits was about he was going to get a shotgun from some white people at a gun store. And then he was like, all right, well, what kind of ammo do I get? And then he had a whole bit about birdshot versus buckshot. So you don't know what the difference is between those two?
I think it's different size BBs or something, probably.
Okay, so
again, I'm not really sure. I've never hunted before. I've only shot a shotgun like once.
Okay. So for those of you listening to the podcast, by the way, sorry, all of this is irrelevant to you. But anyways, there were 4. So get back to the point.
Go listen to a gun podcast.
Yeah. Go. Yeah, there's plenty of
information. We have info from Damascus in chat.
Info from Damascus. Okay, so hold on. So Damascus has gifted yet another fucking sub to Pitch Dark, also known as Words. Shout out to my boy from SWOTOR. Shout out to God Tier, the best guild on fucking Pot 5. Or no, it wasn't Pot 5. No, it was Pot 5. Prophecy of the Five. I used to play an MMO called Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's where I know this man from. Welcome back, Words. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Thank you again, Damascus, for the gifted sub. Slush says slug rounds are legal. That definitely is going to depend on the state you're in, but I think in general, it's different than like a fully automatic light machine gun. That's probably not legal anywhere without some very special licensing. Tanner learned the man. Yeah. Google PogChamp. Yeah. I could have Googled. Diego, what's up, dude? Welcome back, brother. Another JBP acolyte. Shout out to my boy JBP. If you go to my Discord and look in the FAQ section, I recommend a specific podcast of JBP on which JBP is a guest. It's called The Joe Rogan Experience. It changed my life, and it also changed Diego's life, which is why I brought that up. So, Damascus says slug is a solid cylinder made of steel. Okay. So it's rounded, or maybe it's cylindrical with like a flat top or flat bottom. That is mainly used for shooting locks off doors, or can be used for hunting, depending on your local state laws. I like how you threw in depending on your local state laws, in case the NSA, the FBI, or some other alphabet acronym agency is watching this small, humble podcast. So, but that's good to know. Crichton, welcome. Long story short, buckshot does more damage than birdshot because it uses larger pellets. Okay, so buckshot and birdshot are not slug rounds. So there are 3 categories. So in Cali, Slush said, is where slug rounds are legal. Okay, so slug rounds are legal here. Cool. So Gavin Newsom has just added those to his wish list of things to make illegal. So let's see. I'm actually holding a slug round. Damn, dude. Post a picture in the community Discord. And if you wanted to find that picture, I've conveniently linked the Discord for you in the chat. Another tier 1 sub to Diego. Hell fucking yeah, Diego. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Welcome, my fellow Petersonian. Damascus, your generosity knows no bounds. Thank you, sir. And let's get into the changes to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is what I intended to do 30 minutes ago. So they added more attachments. They added a 12 gauge, 6-round detachable magazine. So currently how the Model 680 works is, let's say you have 8 rounds in the gun and you shoot 4 of them and then you press your reload button. What your character will do is take a shell, throw it in the gun, and then take another shell and throw it in the gun 4 times until you've got 8 rounds again. With this new attachment, the 6-round magazine, it's detachable, which means if you have 0 rounds in your gun, instead of loading in 6 one at a time, you will put in a new magazine that has 6 shells in it. So you reload much faster if your magazine is empty. So the advantage of a detachable magazine would be that it's faster to reload from 0 to 6. The disadvantage is that it would be slower to reload from 5 to 6. So if I'm using my 8-round non-detachable magazine 680 and I shoot once, it only takes me a fraction of a second to just dump one more shell into the gun. Whereas if I only shot once and then wanted to reload, but I'm using this detachable magazine attachment, it's still going to make me reload the whole thing. So detachable magazines are not worth it. So let me just point that out. And then they also have the slug detachable magazine. And then the attachments that are worth talking about, Dragon's Breath rounds. So for those of you who have played Black Ops 4, Dragon's Breath is some fucking stupid name for incendiary rounds. So you shoot some pellet that's like on fire. Don't know how that works in real life or if it does. But basically, when the pellets hit you, they do some damage over time, as if you're being burned. And the way the Dragon's Breath rounds work is that your range is decreased, but your one-shot kill potential requires fewer pellets to land. So if I shoot you at 20 meters with Dragon's Breath, I won't get a tag. But if I shoot you without Dragon's Breath, I will get a tag. But if we're at point blank range and my aim is off and my reticle isn't centered on you, if I don't have a Dragon's Breath, I won't kill you with that shot. But if I do, I need to land fewer pellets to still get the one-shot kill because you're adding in that damage over time incendiary effect. So I think Dragon's Breath overall is worth it. So that's good. And then we've got some pictures posted in general of the slug round. Oh, okay. So I'll show this on the stream here. Oh, wait, actually. Here, hold on. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So in case you're watching the video version, that is what a slug round looks like, courtesy of Damascus Impaler. So it's cylindrical with like a relatively flat top. But that'll fuck someone up.
Yeah, definitely fuck someone up for sure.
It wouldn't feel great. It wouldn't feel great. So we've also got that. Let's see here. So yeah, Dragon's Breath is good. You have to unlock it, but it's pretty easy. Each of these attachments requires a different thing to unlock it, but it shouldn't take you long at all. Let's see. And then that's pretty much it for recent patches. Have you used the Dragon's Breath at all, Tanner?
No, I've been killed by it a lot, and it fucking pisses me off. It's more annoying than the Mog. I think you die way quicker. With the Mog, I feel like I was on fire for a little bit, and I would have time to stim.
Yeah.
But in this game, you almost don't know you're on fire, and then you're just dead all of a sudden. That happened to me twice against one team earlier from some kid.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. And no, I'm never going to do the attachments for it. I don't care about it. It's annoying. I'm not going to use it. I'm not a piece of shit like you.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true. So, what was I going to say about this? I don't think much else. So yeah, it's good. I think the reason that there's so little burn time is because the health total is a lot lower than in BO4. So as soon as you start burning, it's like, dude, you're basically fucking dead. So
True.
all right, so that's it for recent patches. Next, we're going to go over some news items. We have had some news, including leaks of new maps, weapons, and operators found in the files. So all this news right now is courtesy of data miners. So shout out to those fucking nerds. Tanner, why don't you start us off on this while I go get a nice Sculpin IPA.
Okay, so the new upcoming maps, weapons, and operators. The first big one is the map Backlot, which is from Call of Duty 4. One of my favorite maps in Call of Duty 4. Super excited about this one. This one was up there with Crash in COD 4 for popular maps, I think. Another big one is Village, which was from Modern Warfare 3. Why am I not... Do you remember that map?
Village?
What map is that? Village.
Okay, so a little reminder about my
I
background.
need to find another picture of it.
Yeah, find pictures. You'll for sure know it.
I know. I just can't think of it.
I never played Modern Warfare, so I don't know what Backlot is. I don't know what that map is, but you're telling me it's good?
Oh, Village. Yeah, Village was like the most popular MW3 map,
Dude,
wasn't it?
Village was a fucking dummy thick map. That map is so good. I'm so excited if that gets added to this game. It's big enough to play absolutely perfectly on this game. The only thing that I'm concerned about with Village is the visibility because of all that long grass.
Yeah.
You know, like in MW 3, the heads up display made sense, which makes sense for a first person shooter. The heads up display and the UI, being able to see people is probably kind of important. And then MW3 10 years ago, they got that right. In this game, they didn't. So I'm very concerned about some dude playing as Grinch prone in the long grass and just never seeing him. But besides that, Village is a fucking excellent map. In my top 15 for sure for all Call of Duty maps. But tell me about Backlot. What was the size of Backlot?
Backlot, how would you describe Backlot? It's smaller than Crash. You know Crash. It's smaller than that.
Wow. Okay.
It's a good map. It's kind of a typical 3-lane. There's mid where it's kind of open and you can go. There's a building in mid and then you can cross through and get to the other team spawn area. Then one other side has kind of just a constructed... In construction progress, little fucking open building you can go in and fight through. It's 2 stories. Okay. And then the third lane is kind of blown out buildings, like almost like they were apartments or something maybe. So it's a nice 3-lane map. Again, making me hopefully want to play 6s again. If these 2 maps are put in at 6s.
We're going to get into that for sure, but yeah. So I think I have played this map a little bit. I played a little bit of MW. But not like much of it, you know. But
yeah.
So here's one picture of Backlot. Yeah, this is a super popular MW map.
Yeah, it was a top 3 for me. I'd say Backlot, Strike, and Crash were the 4 best Call of Duty 4 maps. It was a popular one. It was in all the competitive
Backlot,
rotations.
Strike, and Crash is 3, not 4. But yeah.
Did I say 4?
You did, yeah.
Oh yeah, I meant 3.
It's MW 4, so I get it. I didn't, but we can check the VOD. But okay, so that's cool. And then Village is a fucking fantastic map. So I'll pull that up for you guys real quick to in case you don't remember what that looks like. But it was one of my favorite MW 3 maps, if not my favorite MW 3 map. You should be able to tell what this map is from this image. Oh, dude, I was thinking of... You know what I was talking about with the tall grass? I was thinking of Underpass, not Village. Do you remember Underpass?
Yeah, I gotta look up a picture. Village is a really popular one, though.
Underpass was really good, too. I was thinking of fucking Underpass when I was talking about the long grass. But Village is another excellent map. This would actually play even better in MW than Underpass would.
Oh, Underpass I didn't really like. Yeah, fuck that map.
I loved Underpass, dude. I thought that map was so good. But Village will be a super good map, too, in this game. It'll be even better than Underpass would be because of the lack of the tall grass. So, something to keep in mind is like, I am like an Indo-Chinese tiger, so I thrive in the tall grass. But the game does not thrive with tall grass, so.
Okay.
I just want, so Crichton says, I just want standoff in Nuketown. How do you think Nuketown would play in MW, Tanner?
I don't really care. I still want it.
Yeah, I agree.
Bad.
I agree.
I want it.
How about standoff?
Again, I can't think of what standoff is. Let me look at the
You're
picture.
a fucking idiot, kid. Black Ops 2, the most popular map in that game besides Nuketown.
I didn't play Black Ops 2. But I know the maps once I look up a picture. Okay, yeah, I know that map. Yes, that's a good one.
Super good map.
Again, I never played it. I just remember watching gameplay of it.
Okay. Yikes, but I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
So anyway, that would be a good map. Village would be a good map. So that'd be cool. And then users have also leaked 2 new upcoming weapons for MW, the SKS Sniper and the Renetti Pistol. Do you know what the fuck either of those things are?
SKS will be a semi-automatic marksman rifle, so that's good. It'll be similar to like an EBR.
If it has less recoil, I'll take it.
It fires almost the same round, I'm pretty sure. Just a different version of 7.62, I think. So, or is it the same? I don't know.
And then we're gonna have to look into the Renetti here.
Yeah, what is a Renetti?
I'm gonna look up on the Call of Duty wiki if we've ever seen this before. No results found. So Renetti pistol is just a new thing. I do like the idea of a new pistol though. My guess is that it's going to be either fully auto like the Cap 45 or it's going to be burst fire like the RK7 Garrison. That would be my guess.
Ooh, that would be dope.
Yeah, Akimbo fully auto, not super thrilled about that. Not super thrilled. Seems like it would be pretty fucking OP. Unless the magazine's super small. But in Modern Warfare, there's for sure going to be a magazine extension attachment. So you get 2 fully auto pistols as secondaries. Throw on an extended rounds mag for 15 per. And then throw on Akimbo. I don't like the balance of that. I'm hoping it is burst fire for that reason. Freeze is paying forward the gift they got from Damascus Impaler to the community. Damn, dude, with the gifted sub. Freeze, thank you very much, sir. It's an honor and a privilege. I appreciate you. ML Goat Co. 123, welcome to this small, humble community. Thank you very much, Freeze. I appreciate it, man. Just paying it forward during these trying, quarantined, pandemic-ridden, disease-infested, viral times. Thank you, Freeze. I appreciate it. You and Damascus are the type of people that will sustain humankind through these trying times. So thank you, dude. Hacker's wet dream, Akimbo full auto. Yeah, it actually isn't that good. Akimbo's terrible if you're a hacker though, because aimbotting is kind of useless if you're forced to hip fire. But still, it's not. I mean, hacking isn't gonna hurt. So, anyways, let's go back to these leaks here. There's also a leak for the potential Season 3 operators. Freeze, thank you again. No worries, first ever. Hell yeah, dude. You popped your cherry with me. I'm all about taking people's virginity. That is not a problem for me.
Damn.
No Epstein. No Epstein. There's also a leak for the potential S3 operators, Alex and Ronan. So Alex, I'm assuming that would be Alex Mason from Black Ops. So if you guys played campaign, unsubscribe from this podcast, but also get excited about this operator. And then Ronan is, I don't think anyone in the Call of Duty lore was ever named Ronan. But for those of you who have read a book, Ronin is a Japanese word which essentially means masterless samurai. So expect a fellow of Asian perhaps Japanese descent, who has some weeb kind of aesthetics, which is to say looks cool. And hopefully he has a Ronin samurai style mask a la Recon from BO4. And if he's another edgelord, in that case, I'll buy him. So take notes, Call of Duty. Take my money. Give me edgelords. So that's cool. Moving on here. Additional Warzone playlists leaked as well. So what do we have here? Duos for the BR, which is going to be for me fantastic. Teams of 2, loot and kill, last team standing wins. So exactly like current Warzone, except 2s. So currently we have solos and 3s, adding 2s, and then also adding quads. Too many playlists. Let's get rid of 3s if we're doing this, but overall I like that. Battle Royale high action. The gas closes in faster, so get moving. That's cool. That's really cool. I think that is going to be right in line with the Call of Duty player base because, as I've talked about many times before, the COD player base has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder like I do. So getting the gas moving quick so we can get those kills going is A-okay in my book. BR shoddy snipes, shotguns and snipers only, Halo 3 biting here. There are no loadout drops in this mode. That sounds fucking fun to me.
It does sound really fun.
Here's where this playlist is going to get ruined. Can you guess what's going to ruin this playlist, Tanner?
Snipers? Thermal?
No. There's no loadout drops. So what's going to ruin this playlist? I'll give you a hint. We already know what's going to ruin this playlist from the 3v3 gunfight snipers only.
I don't know.
EBR.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to add marksman rifles and then everyone's just going to use the EBR. Because if it's shotguns and snipers only plus EBR, EBR is definitely going to be the play. Definitely going to be the play. Because you can just start spamming the trigger while everyone's bolt actioning like an asshole. So hopefully they don't add marksman rifles. I'm sure they will. And my reasoning for that is because in the snipers only gunfight, they added marksman rifles, including the EBR. I think they would do the same thing here, unfortunately. But that would still be cool, especially because there are no loadout drops. BR one shot. BR with one shot headshots and no loadout drops. So it's kind of like realism mode, but in Warzone. So that would be dumb. Interesting. Interesting, but dumb. What's the point of all the armor if you're just going to one-tap me to the head with a fucking M19 across the map? That's stupid.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah, that one sounds like it just shouldn't be in the game.
It's a yikes.
Honestly.
Yeah. This is diluting the Warzone player base too much, in my view. So
Well, read the next two. It's going to get even worse.
yeah, it is. Swagola, welcome, dude. Not much. Just taking a break from the Damascus grind. You've chosen the right refuge point. What else do we have here? Realism battle. Okay, so never mind. Realism battle royale and hardcore battle royale. What would be the difference between one shot and realism? BR, Tanner.
Well, I guess body shots on the regular with one shot headshots would still be like, could take 6-8 body shots, whereas realism, it'll be probably a few. I don't know. Regardless, there's too many playlists. Well, I guess they won't all be active at the same time, except for duos, quads, solos, and trios probably will be. So that'll be a lot. But as long as they don't do as long as hardcore is not always in there or something, I don't know. It's just going to take away players. Nobody's going to be playing multiplayer. There is such a thing as having too many playlists, and they have done that on this game.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Crichton makes a good point. Thank you, Cry. Realism, you can't see your teammates. So realism, there's no heads-up display. Or it's limited in some way. So technically, I mean, look, I can make a list of differences between realism mode and one-shot headshot mode. But they're so negligible that it's weird that they would delineate two playlists from that. So, yikes. But we'll see what happens. These aren't confirmed or anything. They're not announcements from Infinity Ward. These are leaks from data mining that went into the files. So some of these could be misinterpreted, but I think most of them are probably not misinterpreted. So what else do we have here? This we went over a little bit last episode. Artwork for MW 2 campaign remastered is also in the MW files. So again, there's not going to be multiplayer for MW 2, which means don't waste your money. And what this says is that you're going to get the campaign from MW 2 remastered through Modern Warfare, and you're going to buy it with COD points. Right now it says 10,000 COD points in the files. We are unclear if that's a proper figure or if it's just a placeholder figure. How many dollars would USD, not buckaroos or Canadian Monopoly money, but how many dollars would 10,000 COD points translate to, Tanner? Do you have any idea?
I don't know, because
I think 1,000 COD points is $10. No, there's no way.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Because yeah, $100, that wouldn't make any sense, right?
Where does it say it's 10,000? Price 10,000 COD points. That doesn't make any sense.
So what they're saying is it could be a placeholder value, which is super possible. Yeah, so
that's definitely what it is. Because an expensive kit is 2,500 XP.
COD points, yeah.
Yeah, COD points. So it's not. Yeah, that's just a placeholder of some sort, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, in addition, you get like in this bundle is an old school throwback ghost. What's it called? Skin, operator skin. And if you're curious what that looks like, I have a pop figure of him here. So this is only my face. That's Ghost right there in the middle. So you can see him a little bit. You can also just fucking Google it, figure it out, use the internet. It's 2020. So keep that in mind. And then that would be interesting. But again, I don't care about this. Who's going to buy MW 2 campaign remastered? No one. We want multiplayer. MW 2 multiplayer remastered, not the campaign. So... Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, here you go. So this is what the skin would look like there, according to these idiot kids. Which is a pretty dope skin. So right now, all the ghost skins in MW have the hood. He has like a hood on, like a sweater. Like a hype beast, I think is what the kids call these people. So this is a non-hype beast ghost skin, which is kind of cool.
I think it's really cool.
I think it looks better than the current one, right?
Way better, yeah.
Yet another M4 skin that looks awful, so don't care. And then a 1911 skin, which looks totally nondescript, also don't care. And then a weapon charm, which is a fin, like a diving fin. So... I'm from California, so I know what fins are. So let me try and explain this to you guys who live in the bullshit states in the middle of the country. You're the heart and soul of America. Take a joke. Relax. But a fin is like you put it on your foot. It like loops around, and it's like a duck fin, but it's rubber, and it extends like 16 inches off of your foot. So it makes you swim more quickly. So keep that in mind. Let me catch up with chat here. Swagola, anyone have any thoughts on the season 3 leaks? We actually just started going over that, so you're not too late. Yeah, Crichton, I've been rambling a little bit. I've had a couple beers, so just calm the fuck down. Give me High Rise or give me Death. I would love High Rise. See, that's a classic MW 2 excellent map for multiplayer. But they're not going to remaster the multiplayer because they're dumb pieces of garbage. So, sadly. Another gifted sub from fucking Damascus Impaler, dude. Damascus, thank you so much, man. To Ethereal. Dude, Ethereal, also known... Oh, no. I mistook that. Ethereal. Congratulations, sir. Welcome back to this small, humble community for those 2 months. It's an honor and a privilege to have you back here, sir. Imagine not knowing what a fin is. Go snorkeling once in your life, lol. You definitely don't need fins to go snorkeling. You're literally just sitting on top of the water if you're snorkeling.
No, you like always use those.
You don't need a fucking fin to snorkel.
You don't need it, but everyone still uses them.
I repudiate that.
Completely. You don't need a fucking car to get to work, but you use one.
Okay,
stupid
all right.
Bitch.
That was a decent analogy, but okay. I don't want an SKS or more COD 4 maps. So you want those MW2 maps, Swagola. High-rise, Afghan, sub-base, favela. Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah. I want
those
all
are all great maps, dude. That's going to be for every single selection you've made. Those are all great maps. MW2 had like the best maps in aggregate in Call of Duty history, in my opinion. So, and then there's also from the data mining, some finishing moves, some quips. Stay frosty. That's a dope operator quip. Because we say that unironically. Which is a yikes, by the way. It's a yikes to say stay frosty unironically, and we do it.
Well, let's not say we. You do it. I don't.
Yeah. Fair. And then an emblem, and then that's pretty much it for the leaks. Yeah, I'm digging Village too. That'll be fun. Let's see. This is important news for twitch.tv/Razanon. And for the Dropshot LLC Incorporated Patent Pending Copyright Trademark Inc. And let's go to this. The data miners who have leaked the new info so far have also revealed that MDub's PC files have mentions to creator codes. Creator codes. Support your favorite Call of Duty creator. That's me. That's Razanon. With your in-game purchases. Creators will receive a portion of each purchase made using their code so they can quit their 9-to-5 job and make content for you full-time. That's me. This code will expire after 14 days. Enter the creator code below. Do you know what a creator code is, really? From like Fortnite and shit, Tanner? Because I think Fortnite was the genesis of creator codes. Explain them to me. I don't really know what they are exactly.
Okay. So say I'm a huge fan of Ninja or something.
Okay.
I go to the store in
So
the
you're
bottom
12.
right corner. There's a bottom right corner
Okay.
that says support a creator. You click on it. There didn't used to be a drop down list. There may be now. At the time, you had to know the exact name. So you type in the exact name of the creator, and it wouldn't just be big names. Like it'd almost be like anybody that had a streaming channel could get one somehow. I'm not sure how it worked. Like you could probably get one.
Okay.
It's not just people with hundreds of viewers constantly. There's a lot of people can have them. And so they just get a small portion of whatever you buy in the store when you buy the battle pass using that creator code. So it's something like they got like 10 or 20%. So for the big streamers, like they got a lot of cash that way.
Okay.
So it's a great addition.
It is a great addition. I am hoping, like you said, that small, humble communities like the Dropshot LLC, Patent Pending Incorporated Trademark Copyright, can get creator codes. That would be fantastic. So if creator codes are released to small, humble streamers like myself and the Dropshot, keep your eyes fucking peeled for that, because I'm going to force you guys to use them or I'm going to ban you from my stream. And if you wanted to stay apprised on when that creator code goes live and what it will be, make sure you join the Discord, which will be in the podcast description, or I've conveniently linked it for you in Twitch chat at this juncture. Moving on. Let's see here. Okay, so Tanner, you wanted to talk about this next point about Michael Khandor So tell us what the fuck we're looking at here, brother.
Somebody tweeted at Michael Khandor, who is what did he do for Call of Duty? He was the head of something. He was the head of a lot of the previous Call of Duty games. But anyway, somebody tweeted at him asking about skill-based matchmaking. He said, ask ATVI, which is Activision something. Activision. Never directed into COD for me. Analytics, skill-based matchmaking, monetization, dedicated server coverage, etc., all driven from Activision's central tech and production teams. Frustratingly little influence on those corporate decisions despite their impact in our games and COD community. So he's saying the developers that we're talking crap on day in and day out have zero control over that, and it's all their bosses and their bosses' bosses controlling that aspect of the game that everyone hates.
Right. So this was even when skill-based matchmaking was first being discussed and being complained about, and everyone was leveling their gripes at Infinity Ward, rightfully, about skill-based matchmaking, there were some more sophisticated people who were saying, this is probably not Infinity Ward's fault. It's probably Activision's fault. And this tweet by Michael Khandor, who is an Infinity Ward employee, not an Activision employee, has basically confirmed what those people were saying, which is that skill-based matchmaking is an invention and an implementation of Activision's doing, not of Infinity Ward's doing. And that if it were... So what you can read into this is that if it were up to Infinity Ward, there would not be skill-based matchmaking. But Activision, as the publisher, is essentially, as it relates to this product, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the parent company. So they have final say on basically everything, and that includes on skill-based matchmaking. So if you're pissed about SBMM, you should be, and also direct your ire toward Activision rather than Infinity Ward. I'm surprised that this guy tweeted this, though. Is he a current or a former employee?
He doesn't work for him anymore.
That's
Co-founder
why.
and former studio head at Sledgehammer Games.
Okay. So this is exactly why we're getting this information from this particular individual. If you currently worked at an Infinity Ward and said this, you would be fired. But since he's a previous employee, he doesn't have to toe the corporate line, but also he has that insider knowledge and information, which gives him some authority on this subject. So, let me look at this one more time. Analytics, skill-based matchmaking, monetization, dedicated server coverage, etc., all driven from Activision's central tech and production teams. Interesting. Unfortunately, this doesn't tell us the motivations behind why Activision thinks skill-based matchmaking is a good idea, but it at least confirms for us, particularly those of us who suspected that Activision was the driving force behind this system. We've gotten confirmation that it is Activision's doing. So, with that said, that's not really a good thing. It's actually kind of a bad thing, because if it was Infinity Ward's decision, then we could say, well, at least when Black Ops 5 releases, which is not an Infinity Ward title, but is instead a Treyarch title, we will be done with skill-based matchmaking. Wrong. Because Activision is the parent company for Call of Duty. It publishes the entire franchise. So basically what this means is that irrespective of who's developing the game, the publisher is going to remain the same, and the publisher is the one who is implementing skill-based matchmaking. And I don't know. maybe it's probably here to stay. Maybe it's not. That's going to be up to Activision's direction. There has been a lot of negative pushback on social media for skill-based matchmaking. But do you think that will influence their decision for COD 2020, Tanner?
No, I don't think it'll influence anything. The bottom line is the people. So I don't really like it. It's pretty annoying. The people we see complaining, though, are generally players that are better at the game. So we're seeing people with KD similar to ours that are complaining about skill-based matchmaking. Now, like, take my brother-in-law, for example. He plays very casually, once or twice a week. If he was getting thrown into lobbies against me every day, I promise you he would not be playing this game anymore. So it makes complete sense. I do understand why they do it. It does keep the crappy casual players playing the game. I mean, you're not going to hop on as a rank, 30, rank 40, having 0 gold weapons and want to play against Damascus losers all day long. So they do retain a large number of players by having skill-based matchmaking, no matter what we think. So I don't think it's ever going to go. I think it's staying. It's something they've probably tested it and they know it keeps players around, even though there's a lot of people complaining on Twitter. It's just like, hey, it's like when Trump won the election. Everybody on social media said he didn't have a chance. Hey, he won. He didn't get the popular vote, but he won. It's kind of something similar to that. You see something on social media, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. So that's how I fucking feel about it.
Okay. Well, now you've pissed me off. So
Let's hear it.
Okay,
Let's hear it.
A couple of rebuttals. First of all, let's start with a math lesson. I'm going to call this a math review instead of a math lesson, because I've told you this before when you made this grotesque error. So we're going to do a review, a pop quiz. There's a team deathmatch match. 6 players are on each team. None of them leave during the game. The game ends. What is the average KD of this lobby? In this match. Not the average KD lifetime, but the average KD of this particular match.
0.94.
That's probably about correct. The average KD would be 1, exactly 1.0, assuming no one killed themselves. But sometimes people kill themselves in game, of course. So the KD is about 1. When you take this data point, and by the way, do the fucking math. That's how it works. By definition, the KD must be exactly 1.0. Because for every kill, there's also a death, which means the KD is 1. Read a book. So what that means is the overall player base on average is going to be about a 1.0. So if you're a dog shit player, like your friend you were talking about that plays super casually, the average lobby is going to be full of average players. That's how bell curves work. He's not going to get thrown in. He might get thrown into a lobby with you and I in it, but the entire lobby isn't going to be people like you and I. There's going to be some 0.6 players. There's going to be some 3.0 players. There's going to be mostly 0.9 to 1.1 players. So I don't think he's going to have as bad of a time as you think he's going to have. And especially when you do skill-based matchmaking like how it is now based on the last 5 matches. Let's say he is in those dog shit lobbies and he does really well. Well, now his last 5 matches KD is a 4.0. Because even though he's trash, he was in even worse lobbies and he just fucking dunked on everyone. Well, now his last 5 matches KD is 3.0. Guess who his entire lobby is on game 6? Me, you, itchy, slush, fucking demons. And then all of a sudden, he's having so much fun, and then death, hatred, despair, snapped, headshot, one tapped, just fucking destroyed. And then he's like, oh, did I have a stroke? Hey, am I Joe Biden? What's going on here? Because I was doing well, and now I'm doing fucking terribly. Because he got SBMM'd. Hashtag SBMM'd. You don't need to do additional algorithmic tricks and machinations to have a good gaming experience for every player. And my evidence of this is very simple. Every other Call of Duty game. I was a dogshit player in BO4. I was literally a negative KD player in BO4 when I first started playing it. Because this was my first shooter on PC. I didn't need skill-based matchmaking to fucking coddle me and hold my hand into the, community. I just got my ass fucked repeatedly, and it made me get better. So I think having skill-based matchmaking insufficiently protects you. It doesn't actually work to protect you, because eventually you'll get out of it, and then it's going to be a slap in the face. All of a sudden you're facing gods. It's better to just have an average lobby, because the average lobby is going to be full of average players by definition. I don't think it's going to help people in the same way that they think it's going to help people. And it's less fun for good players because they always have to face other good players. And it doesn't really change anything for shit players. So I just don't think it's worth doing.
Okay. I'll go with that.
It's complicated, but I just don't think it is worth doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of complicated. I'd have to think about it more, because I've made the argument before. I think I wrote about it. I don't remember where it is, and
It's more complicated than people realize.
Yeah. And when you're talking about player bases of 30 million people, you can do some complicated statistical algorithms and shit like that, and you'll figure it out. But let me catch up on chat here, because we had a couple things to talk about here. A little parting gift to the stream and the real kings. Oh, fuck. Did I miss Cobalt, dude? Is he gone? No, he's still here. All right, Cobalt, dude. Cobalt, thank you so much, man. I'm sorry I kept you for so long. If you were sitting here waiting for me to stop talking, I'm sorry. I've had a couple beers. So I've been talking for a little while, meandering, as it were. But thank you so much for those gifted subs, dude. It's an honor and a privilege. Your generosity is very much appreciated. And Low Cap, who I've known forever. Cheese Dick, also known as Blaze Jumpers. Mabbit92, we were born in the same year. Syndictive. Hold on. Syndictive. And Trojan Horse 18. Welcome, boys, to this small, vibrant, humble fucking community. Cobalt, thank you so much, dude. Osiric, but what about good players who quit? Exactly. I mean, another thing skill-based matchmaking does is it drives away your core player base, your really passionate fans who are going to more likely be very good at the game. And it's going at the supposed benefit of getting casual players to stick around. But if you're a casual player, by definition, you're not going to stick around. And even if you do entice the casual players into playing more by holding their hand and throwing them in dogshit lobbies, eventually those casual dogshit players are going to get good. So you've kept them around. Congratulations for them to get good enough to be in the pool of good players who you're going to drive away with skill-based matchmaking. How will noobs, bad players improve? That, I think, is a very big point, too. If I'm playing against 0.6 players all the time, I'm never going to learn how to play well. because my aim isn't going to matter. I'll fuck them regardless. My positioning isn't going to matter. I'm going to fuck them regardless. So you're never going to learn winning strategies. You'll just learn winning strategies against 0.6 KD players, which will not help you against actual good 2.0, 3.0 KD players. It's catastrophically, mind-numbingly stupid to have skill-based matchmaking. Razanon, man, I played against you in BO4. You clapped cheeks. You probably... If that's the case, then it was later on in my BO4 career. Because trust me... Dude, I'm not kidding. I did not get a 15 kill streak, a Ruthless medal, until Prestige 5. Prestige 5! How many hours of game time is that? In a 15 kill medal, I can get that tonight. Like, I was not good. So. But I didn't need skill-based matchmaking to help me improve. In fact, to the contrary, I probably wouldn't have improved if I was in skill-based matchmaking. So anyways, that is that. I think we're going to keep seeing more of it, though. So.
Yeah. Definitely going to see more.
We're going to skip the call-in. If Rezi, if you're here, we're going to skip you because this has been going on for a little while. So we're just going to hold off on that. But next time, but you're not here anyway, so it doesn't matter. Tanner, how do you like the new map?
Great map. Big fan of it. I'm loving the 24/7 playlist. I'm glad they did that because I don't want to have to wait through Piccadilly and Azir Cave in order to get it in sixes. It plays really well in sixes. I was saying, we were talking about in the last podcast, kind of, I was thinking when they said medium size, it'd possibly at some point, they change it to a tens map. It's not a tens map at all. It's sixes.
Not. Yeah, for sure.
It fits perfect. Great layout. There's just that one little bug at mid where the door is glitched or there's not a door there. I think that door is going to be able to be open and you can go out through mid. I think that's what they meant to do.
I hope so.
That would make more sense than having to run all the way around.
I hope so.
But yeah, really, really fun map. The only thing I've noticed is the visibility sometimes. It's too bright. When you're running towards the sun, it's hard to see people when you're sighting up.
Yep.
But I really like the layout, and it's 3 lanes, and it's fucking fun. And I got a brutal on it earlier, and then somebody spawned 10 feet behind me, so it killed me.
Yeah. So basically what I heard from you is that all the problems, or the 2 problems with this map, are problems with the game, not the map.
Yep.
And I agree with you 1,000%. I think this is the best map in Modern Warfare. I think it's better than Shoot House. Because I'm actually not sure why I think that, but I do think it's better. I think it's better than Shoot House, which is the only other good map in Modern Warfare. So that, by definition, if it's better than Shoot House, it's better than every other map. I think it's a fucking fantastic, amazing map. It is actually appropriately sized for sixes. And the way it's designed, I can't tell you exactly why. The main thing I can say is that it's 3 lanes, which makes it fantastic for Call of Duty, because every map should be 3 lanes, basically. But it makes it feel like old CODs when you're doing sixes. People aren't just constantly camping all the time, because you can't really camp that map super effectively. Which is exactly how you should design a Call of Duty map. Instead of like Grozna Raid, where there are 8 million places to camp, including up to 3 stories. It's fucking absurd. It's so dumb. So, it is the best map in this game by a pretty big margin. Especially if you take Shoot House out of the pool. The next best map is probably Ramaza, in my opinion, and it's like 10 times better than Ramaza. So it's a fucking amazing, fantastic map. I love it so much. It's not a coincidence that it's a 3-lane map and it's one of the best 2 maps, the other of which is also 3 lanes. So I really like this map, and I'm thrilled that they added another 3-lane map, and I hope they continue this pattern. So
I just wish they released it earlier in the season instead of like 12 days before the season ended.
I know. for sure.
But whatever. It's a fun map.
Yeah.
I want to play a lot of it in the 24/7 before it gets thrown back into 6s, because then we'll probably never play it again.
Yeah, unfortunately true. Just because 6s is so polluted by Piccadilly and fucking Azure Cave. Freeze likes it better than Shoot House as well. Yeah, for sure. I do. Do you like it better than Shoot House, Tanner?
Absolutely. I was never the biggest fan. I know a lot of people, you like Shoot House more than me. I thought Shoot House was a fun map for this game. But if it were comparing it to other Call of Duties, I wouldn't put it like in the top 10 or. But for this game, it was good. But
interesting.
Hideout's way better in my opinion. It feels, I don't know, it feels more like a Call of Duty map.
It really does. It really does. It really does. Let's be honest, it ain't no Nuketown. Well, listen, brother. Nuketown's the best map Call of Duty's ever made. So, of course it's not. But, it is a really good map. I wouldn't put Shoot House in the top 10 of all CODs, to be fair. I'm not sure I would put Hideout in the top 10 of all CODs either, though.
We haven't played it enough either, though. We don't know how much we really like it yet.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. So
you need to play it for just like months to determine if you really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, it needs to be in a rotation for like a year to get a really good sense of it. So
yeah.
We're gonna leave out this last point. Anything else you want to cover, young man?
I think we're good. A lot of info in that episode.
A lot of info, a lot of chatter from me. I apologize. I was eloquacious tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. Right now, if you're watching live on stream, we are going to continue gaming. I'm going to see if my internet can handle streaming the video game, which would be ideal. But we'll see if that's possible or not. Cobalt Tick, thank you very much for those gifted subs, dude. I really fucking appreciate it. Damascus Impaler, dude, I don't even know how many subs you gifted today. 10? 12? 15? A fuck ton. Dude, so indebted to you, man. Super grateful. Thank you very much, man. Freeze, thank you as well for the gifted sub, dude. I appreciate you. To all of you who did get gifted a sub, welcome. I hope you stick around. Make sure you join the Discord. If you are new here, I will link that for you now. If you're listening on iTunes or whatever, then you can look in the show notes and find the Discord there. You can also find me on Twitch at Razanon, twitch.tv/RAZINON. Wednesdays, Saturdays, 7 p.m. Pacific is when this stream, or when this podcast is recorded live on my stream at that address. You can also find me on Twitter at Razanon, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Not Snapchat. My Snapchat's different. You can DM me for that. So keep that in mind. And then
females only, though.
Females only, absolutely. And I don't care what you identify as. You have to actually be female. So come at me, cancel culture. Tanner, where can we find you, brother?
Twitter at TANNERRRR54.
Once again, that is TANNERRRR54 on Twitter. And once you're following him, make sure to tweet at him to change his fucking handle. It's too long. You can also find him and me on my Discord. Once again, link is in the show notes or in the Twitch description. Really, anywhere you'll be able to fucking find it. There's an FAQ. There's a bunch of shit on the Discord. Looking for squad, info, schedules, general discussion. You can find an FAQ about Tanner and I. You can find our BattleNet and Activision ID handles if you wanted to run with us. I play with viewers all the time, as does Tanner. And that is gonna wrap it up. Anything else for you, brother?
Nope.
All right. That is it for the Dropshot episode 15. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent day. And as always, young kings, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.